Although the falls aren't very tall, the bears hold the high ground. The salmon make short, exploratory leaps to see where the bears are. But they don't always get it right. This mother bear has been waiting months for this moment.
What's up guys, Danielle here, NutriSupport.net. So today I am super excited to bring you an in-depth look at EVT's new portable stand, the Field Unit. Now, if you've watched the channel or followed me or ever spoken to me at length about basically anything, you'd know that forever I have said that the Park Tool PRS-25 is the best portable stand on the market. But will today be the day that I change my mind? Let's find out.
Now let's get to work.
So pretty much the star of the show with this stand is going to be the clamp. So the big deal is that you have a right arm repair clamp in a portable body. The right arm repair clamp that they used is actually in partnership with Monora, just like the rest of the stand. So this is actually a smaller, lighter weight version of the true right arm repair clamp with all of the functional benefits of the original. We'll talk more about that later.
The suspense is terrible.
One of the big things that this has going for it, besides just having this clamp, which I think is a benefit because I love this clamp, super wide, like 105 millimeter opening, very small jaws, so you almost never have to move anything off a seat post. Just very easy, very smooth. But one thing that sets this apart, besides the clamp, is the fact that you can actually articulate the clamp just like you're used to in your typical stationary stand. So you have these beefy levers that you can loosen, turn, tighten, just like normal, just like a normal bicycle repair stand. That mechanism is also employed here so that you can turn around the various tripods. So you could actually maneuver this very similarly, if not exactly, like a stationary bicycle stand in a shop. That feature alone is incredibly valuable to me because there are so many times when you're working in a portable stand environment where you just can't move the bike the way that you need to. This gives you both points of articulation. To pair with the articulation, we can look at the legs themselves.
Would you look at that? What is it? It's a leg!
So the legs are actually very big. So everything about this stand is big. If you put a Park Tool PRS-25 or the Feedback Elite Pro that I have next to it, they dwarf in comparison to this stand because everything is so big. In fact, let's just do that really quick. So if we get all three of these together, you can see that the actual body of the EVT is significantly wider. Now I know that Feedback has an HD stand that has thicker legs and things and weighs almost the same as this one. I don't have that one, but the Pro Elite has a very thin column. The Park Tool has a thin column. So this center column here is incredibly rigid and incredibly thick. It has these machined struts down here that are holding the legs to the actual main column. Not to mention the legs themselves are actually significantly longer. So when you put all those factors together, even though there are similarities, you just get this very rigid, unmoving stand somehow out of a portable stand. Besides that, even if you have a situation where you think that this stand isn't going to cut it or it's going to move, they actually put little holes in the feet themselves so that you could put stakes through if you're off in grass or something like that to add stability.
Your Honor, I would like to request a sidebar.
Granted.
So in the development of the Field Unit, Monora with Brett ended up manufacturing this less expensive version of the right arm repair clamp. As a result of that development, Brett decided to make this version of the right arm clamp available as a cheaper alternative to buying the right arm repair clamp that you guys know and love that has always been available that he hand makes. What are the differences? So this is actually a great opportunity to look at that. So the similarities are pretty evident, right? They're the same dimension on most things. They use pretty similar hardware. At first I thought that my TIG welded one was smoother, but I don't know, that might just be because it has a lot of grease on the threads, whereas this one hasn't accumulated as much lubricant. You can see this is TIG welded, every bit of it, whereas the field unit appears to me to be MIG welded or some kind of fed welder as opposed to TIG. Getting real dirty. Then if we look at the handles, these are obviously different, functionally the same. I think the US made version has a better handle. So this is a little bit beefier and it's also a little smoother. This action is smoother, this action is less smooth. You can see one of them is pinned on, the other one is bolted on. I don't know that there's, actually we could find out. Yeah, so there's nothing actually in here. It's just sleeved. It works fine. Yeah. This one, however, just feels like it has something additional in there, whether it's a bearing or something else, but I don't think I can actually take it apart and I don't want to. So you'll just have to trust me. So a weight comparison would be kind of useless for these because obviously this one's heavier since it has a solid body and a pin in the connecting point. So that is kind of irrelevant for this comparison, but you can just see they're very similar in terms of function, right? This one is clearly better made. It's better made in that it's handmade and everything was taken to great care and all that stuff. But this one functionally does exactly the same thing for less money. So make your choice based on how you feel about that. But the finish and fit quality of the original is the best. The function is the same. So no matter which stand you choose, there are 3 contact points on the ground with 99.9% of them. Some of them use a tripod like feedback and the EVT stand do, where they have 3 legs with a center post similar to a speaker stand like Feedback's actual original parent company. That is one system. Then you have the Park Tool system and others where there are 2 legs with a slight angled beam, so it's actually 3 points, one of them being angled, and the pressure of the bike puts the pressure onto the 2 legs. I have always preferred the execution of the 2-leg design because when you put the bike in it, the weight is actually pushing onto the legs and creating stability. With the tripod stand, you have the added challenge of there being 3 legs that are semi-evenly distributed, but the weight is not. So as soon as you put a bike in the stand, the weight is distributed onto 2 shallow legs if you have it oriented this way, or 1 leg like Feedback always tells you to do, right in the middle that you trip all over, which I always hate. So in my experience and in others' experiences, as soon as you unweight the bike, like you take the wheel off, the stand no longer has stability because the weight has changed and it falls over. So tripod stands have always been a curse to me. So when I saw that EVT was making a tripod stand, I was actually a little bummed initially because I was like, ugh, I don't like them. They're not very stable. They're hard to use. They don't inherently adjust to non-level surfaces. Then I got the EVT, right? And I set it up. Since the legs are so long and they're offset to the center as opposed to being straight from the center, the weight is different. So with the EVT, because of the way the legs are oriented and the length, instead of having to orient with a leg in the middle just to have a stand that stands up, you can actually orient it the other direction where the legs aren't in your way and also have it be stable. So I was excited because I finally had a tripod leg stand that didn't feel like it was constantly going to fall over no matter what I did. So it's not just one thing, it's kind of everything working together. If you put the legs in this orientation where they're off to the side and you make them this diameter and you support them with these big struts, everything that creates that stability with the super long legs, you stop worrying so much about the thing falling. It's just really not going to. You have to hook like a cargo kid bucket up to this thing to start worrying about it tipping over. So other tripod stands on the market, take note, because it seems like if you just do some geometry work, you can create a leverage situation that will keep your stand from tipping even though it has everything in the world against it.
I think she's got it.
So when I set out, I was fully aware that this moment would happen where I would have to compare my favorite portable stand to my potential new favorite portable stand and come to some kind of agreement between these two. Now, From the numbers, if I use the criteria that I set out with in the beginning, right, in the first test where I was testing out the PRS 25, a big aspect of that was how fast can I deploy this stand? And that doesn't seem to be a thing with the EVT, right? I can't deploy the EVT very fast at all. I loosened up the hardware and stuff to make it as easy as possible, but I'm just not very good at it. It's also heavier and bigger than the PRS 25, right? It's 21 pounds. It's physically larger in just about every dimension. It has a big old heavy clamp on it. It's not the same type of stand. And it actually changed some of my beliefs about portable stands in general. What are you doing with the stand? And some of you are like, oh, I'm moving around, I need a folding stand. But like, when you are moving around, are you moving a lot? Are you flying with the stand? Is this something that has to be out quick and then put back away? Are you throwing it in and out of a car? A lot of people say things like, well, I need it to be stable when I'm in a ditch. I don't know when people are necessarily working on a stand in a ditch. Even as somebody who did mobile work, I don't think I was ever in a ditch with a stand out, but people mention it all the time. I need something that's stable in the ditch. Each stand has something that it's good at. Each stand has something it's not great at. The EVT stand is heavier and it doesn't deploy very fast, but it has longer legs. It has this tripod system with the diagonal attachments. It has beefier column post. It has the right arm repair clamp stand, and the extra weight that would be a detriment for tossing in and out of the car and carrying with you in travel is its strength when you're looking for stability. So the added weight, the added heft makes it so that even without a bike in it, very stable, like very stable.
I've never seen anything like that.
Doesn't move very much. Whereas the park tool stand is 13 pounds. It's great. It deploys really quickly. You can toss it in and out of your car. You can lug it around. It's very light, but it's very light. So one note about published specs too is that they're usually pretty conservative for legal reasons. So EVT was very conservative with their weight measurement, and they put it at 79 pound capacity. But Park Tool put this stand at 100 pound capacity. Both of them can hold me as demonstrated here. So 1, 2. I weigh like 120 pounds. I'm not saying you should put a 120 pound bike, because once you extrapolate that weight out, it's a little different, but seems like EVT was overly conservative on their weight measurement. I watched Brett do pull-ups on this at the show, so he knows that 79 pounds is probably a little low, but 79 pounds versus 100 pound weight capacity. Keep that in mind when you're doing your shopping, if that is very important to you.
Show me the money!
So all of the major players in this level of stand are in a pretty similar pricing bracket, within 150 bucks. I think the Feedback HD, 525 bucks. The Park Tool PRS 25, still the cheapest, 475 bucks. The EVT, 599. All of them are gonna cost you around the same money, especially if you add up the hours that you're using them. That's a wash. So price really isn't it. So what are you doing with it would be my question, because if I am getting in and out of my car, I want the Park Tool. But if I'm setting up for like an all-day event where I'm get there at 5 a.m., I don't leave till 5 p.m., and I stay in one spot, the EVT creates a platform that is effectively the closest thing to a stationary stand that you can possibly get in a folding stand. It's really hard to encompass how surprised and impressed I was when I first set it up. It's so stable, it's ridiculous. It's stable enough to trick you into thinking you're using a regular steel-based stand when you're not. What are you doing with it?
Well, I mean, when you put it like that, then...
So thank you for watching. I hope that this video gave you a juicy look at the EVT stand so that you could see all its cool features. It really does what it does incredibly well. And you may feel like this video is a cop-out because I didn't exactly crown a perfect winner between the PRS 25 and the EVT stand, because how could I? It really illustrates the point though, that tools are sometimes better at one aspect of a thing than another aspect. I think these two stands do different things incredibly well. For example, some of you might like feedback stands and you might use them. That's fine. We can still be friends. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it. You can subscribe to the channel. It'll tell you every time that I put one out. Head over to neutralsupport.net. I've got memberships, swag, hats, aprons, t-shirts, some tools, other cool things. All that stuff just goes to supporting the channel and making these videos. So I really appreciate you guys. As always, hope you have a good day.